This
Okay.
conference will now be
Now I will create a
recorded.
new tab page here. And again, as usual, if I go to the tab page, I need to set up the pattern, and I will apply a pattern called custom here. Apply pattern, and then I will take the custom pattern. And in this, I will apply, first of all, let me go to properties, and I will set up a caption called HTML control. Okay. And I want to add a new, and then we have a control called HTML viewer. Let's see that. Where is that? HTML viewer. Okay, editor, you can try. And this is my control now. Okay, this is my HTML viewer control. Now let's say I want to display some information for this HTML control. And to do that, there are multiple ways. From that, first of all, one is you can see this HTML here. Now let me open Internet Explorer. Okay, I want to get some HTML code. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to get some big thing. I want to get only some HTML code. Okay, so I will do one thing. I am taking a href sample. Okay, and I have the W3 schools here, and I will try it myself. Let me take this sample. You can see this is the sample that I have. Okay, I have the HTML code ready now. I will copy this and paste it here. Okay, I want to check whether if I do this, I am getting it or not. Oh, sorry, it copied only one line. Let me open Notepad, paste it over here, and delete, and delete, and delete, and okay, I want to get all these things and delete. Is it done? Let me check. Yeah, still it's there. Delete, delete. I think now we have the HTML ready. Okay, I will take the whole XML and I will paste it over here. Okay, in the MISC HTML. Now what we will do is, once we have done with pasting the XML and everything is set to yes, I want to set auto declaration of as well to yes. Okay, because sometimes the people want to use in the code, so we will see it later on. Now this table of contents, I will do a label, and then we will see how it will work. Okay, and in the meantime, I got one question from Mohammed, I think, to show the fields. Okay, he given the example of a date time, but you can take any field. See here, we will see that within some time. Okay, so where exactly we do this? We can do that on the address form. Okay, in this address form, here you can see a group control, custom and quick filters. Okay, now what you can do is, if you want, you can add more number of fields here. Okay, because if you go and check in the pattern, whatever is allowed, you need to use them. Okay, so here custom filter fields group and custom filter fields. If you want to add the custom filter fields, you can add them. You can simply add a string field. Okay, I will add a new and then I will call it as a string. You can add this string field. Okay, and I will call this as uh, label as city. Okay, I will call this as label as city, and then here what you need to set, I will say city filter. Okay, and here how to get the value out of it, how to get the value out of it, how to get the value out of it. Now let's say I will go to the methods. In the methods, I will have the modified method. In this modified method, okay, where is this modified? Yeah, copy filter, this one. Below this super, what I will do is, I might have added AMA address underscore data source dot. We have a method called execute query. Okay, execute query. So what does this execute query does? It will call the database and then it will fetch the data. That is what execute query does. Okay, now in the similar fashion, so if you want to get your form refreshed, you can use AMA address ds dot refresh. Okay, anyways, I have used execute query. So let's see whether it will refresh the data source or not and everything. And next step, here, I want you to go to data source, AMA data source. In the methods, you need to go to execute query. And in this execute query, here city value is set as Hyderabad. Now, write a simple condition. If, so what is my string field name? It's city filter. Okay, city filter dot value str. Okay, then what I'm saying here, use that city filter dot value str. So now what will happen if, oh, it is throwing the error. What is this? City filter is not declared. Oh, very bad. Let me check in the address table. Auto declaration, set it to yes, save, done. Okay, now what will happen when I am using this city filter dot value str? If it is not empty, then it will enter the loop and then it will apply to the city. Otherwise, it will display all the records. Okay, this is how you need to apply the filters, Mohammed. Got it? This is how
Now, what
you
is
will
that
apply the
field?
filter.
Auto declare
Sorry, which one?
property you changed just now.
That is auto declaration, yeah. Because I need to use it in the code, na. If I need to use it in the code, I need to set auto declaration to yes. Previously, it is no. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. This is how we will use it. Similarly, if you have the date, okay. Here I don't have any date fields, which is why I have used the string. If you have the date, what will happen? You will have dot date value. Okay. You will have dot date value. If it is a date time, you will have the date time value, dot value, and you can get the date time. And if you want to apply greater than and less than, what you need to do? Dot value, and then you need to put a single quote greater than, and you can add it. That is one way. And there is one more way. That way is using the string format. In the string format, we will use percentile1 dot percentile2 greater than percentile3 dot percentile4. In percentile1, you will add the data source. Percentile2, you will add the field name. Percentile3, you will add the data source. Percentile4, you will add the field. If you want to use, that means because sometimes you will have the requirement. Here I have defined the range. How I have defined it? I have defined using the values. But if you want to define using the data sources and data fields, then you will use string format. Okay, done. Now let me open the front end and we will see the HTML control whether it works or not. If it works, it is good. Otherwise, we will see how to modify it. Okay, let me open this one. Let me open the front end. Okay, it's loading. Let it load. Okay, it got opened. Now let me go to modules and then shopping management system, a table of contents screen. And here, tab page 3, HTML control, expand. You can see here, this is how you will get the HTML. Okay. Now if I click on this W3 schools, it will take you to W3 schools. Okay. Now here, a few of the times I used to get a questions. Okay, you are saying this is well and good. Now let's say I want to open a menu item from here. How to do that? Okay, let's take an example. If you want to open, let's say in the shopping management system, I have address information. I want to open address information. How to do that? Okay. Now I will copy this URL and I will go to the code back and I have the table of contents here. Now here, if you want to add it over here, you can add it. That is one way. Okay. And the second way is, and there is one more way. The second way is, now I will take this URL and this URL I will cut and I will paste it over here in place of w3schools.com, and you can call this as address information. Okay, address information. Okay, this is one of the link that you can provide in the HTML control, and this is related here. Let it be there. That's not a big deal. Okay, now I have added here. I have added my menu item URL, and now if you want to write it directly in your HTML control, that's up to you. You can do that. And what is the second way? The second way is you can write code for this. How to do that? Go to methods, and then we have the run method. And then I want to write the business logic here. And what is the control name? It's HTML viewer. Just a second. It's loading. Where is run? Here. And here what you can do? You can set HTML viewer dot param HTML. This is the method. And then you can put a string semicolon. Okay. And good to put at the rate because you have slashes now. If you want to get those, you can use at the rate at the beginning. Okay. So this is the second way of working with HTML control. Now let's see whether it works or not. Let me do a rebuild. And then we have one more control called action pane. That action pane we will see in the address form now. Okay. Within a minute, once this is finished, we have the action pane control, which is very interesting. We will see that within a minute. Okay. And remember, here in the city filter, I wrote execute query in the modified, but instead of that, you can use one button. Okay, because you don't know how to create a button, so I wrote in modified. So here I will use button. Okay, we will add one button, and we will apply that filter. We can do that as well. Okay, let's see. And there are multiple ways to work with a similar thing here. Okay, there are hundreds of ways. It's up to you which way you want to go with. Okay, seems like build got completed successfully. Now let me go to the front end and let me refresh. Let's do one thing. In the meantime, instead of waiting for this for a long time, we will see Power BI. Oh, I got it. I think. Let it. We will see Power BI if time permits. Okay, because anyways we need to build twice or thrice, so we can also see Power BI. Okay. Now let me select the modules here, and let me go to shopping management system. And in the shopping management system, let me select table of contents. Just a second, it is loading. Okay. Now let me go to tab page 3, and then let me navigate HTML address information. Let me select this. We will see where it will navigate. Now you can see it went into address. Now let's see whether address information opens or not. Okay, we will see that. Now it has opened, and you can see there is one more filter, city, and in the city I will apply Hyderabad. I will press tab. Okay, now it will display only data from city and press tab. Okay, so this is how it works. This is how we are going to work with all these things, and how to apply the filter. Okay, yep. Now similarly, if you want Bangalore, you can apply Bangalore. If you want Noida, you can apply Noida. Delhi, you can apply whatever the filters you want. Okay, done. Now the next step is, this is well and good. Now we got all the data. Okay, now there is one more thing called action pane. Okay, now again I want to remove this from this modified. Okay, I wrote execute query now. I want to comment this out because I want this to happen only when we click on some button. So I have removed this. Now there is one more thing called action pane. Up to now I have not added any controls to that. If you see on the front end, you can see there are few buttons here. This is what we call as a action pane. This is what we call as a action pane. And this action pane, if you want in a tab page, you can get in a tab page. If you want this in a on the top, you can get it on the top. If you want this as a strip, you can get it. Then how to apply this action pane? It's very simple. Simply add a new action pane. Okay. And in the properties, I will set the action pane as the caption for this so that we can see that. Okay. Next. So what can we add to the action pane? To the action pane, you can add a tab and then a button group. Okay. As per the best practice, instead of directly adding the button group, okay, if you have only one set of commands, then you need to add the button group. If you want to have multiple tabs, okay, file, edit, view, like that, then you need to create a action pane tab. I will call this as action pane tab 1. Okay, now how this will look like? You'll get one more question. If I create a tab, how it will look like? Now let me go to accounts receivable or any form. You can go to all customers. I'm opening customers. You can open any page. Okay, you will see action pane everywhere, almost in all the screens at the top, unless and until it is a hub part or a form part section list. Okay, unless and until it is a hub part or a form part section list, you will see those tabs everywhere. Just a second, it is opening. We will see how it will look like, and then we will move forward. It's loading here. Let it load. Let's do one thing in the meantime. Okay. So like this, you can create any number of action pin tabs you want. Okay. But please remember, don't create more number of menus. It will be difficult for customers to identify what exactly is the purpose of the tab. Okay. So try to keep them less. Okay. So let me create two more tabs. I will call this as action pin tab, and I will call this as action pin tab 2. And similarly, I will create one more action paint tab, and here I will call this as action paint tab 3. Okay, done. Now this is how we can create the tabs. So once we create the tabs, how they will get displayed? Okay, how they will get displayed? Let's see on the front end. Action pane tab 2, and this is action pane tab 3. Save. I think it got opened. Yeah. Now you can see this is how they will get displayed. Customer action pane tab 1, sell action pane tab 2, invoice action pane tab 3. And here on the action pane tab, on each tab, you can see group. This is one group, this is second group, this is third group. These are called button groups. What do we call this? These are called button groups. Inside the action pane tab, you can create button groups, new button group. Okay, I will create one more button group, and I won't add only commands here because command group 1, I will call this as command group 1, and this is one more group. You can call this as command group 2. Okay, these are the command buttons. Okay, now to the button group. Okay, you can see here you can add only button group to the action pane tab, and to this button group what we can do, you can add a new button, a button separator, a command button, a drop dialog button, a menu button, a menu item button. So first of all, I want to add one command button. Okay, and for this command button there will be predefined set of commands. You can see command. I will call this as command button 1. I will call this as command button 1, and then there is a text. I will call this as let me add new. Okay, we will add new one more time. That's not a big deal. Here I want to select new as the command. Let me check whether it is available or not. Yeah, it's there. Save. Okay, this is my new button, and then I want to add one more new. You can add a command button. You can call this as command button 2, and then uh, let me call it as delete. I have a delete command. I will call this as delete. Okay, by default for delete there will be nothing. You will have new edit and save. There is no delete, so I call it as delete. Now between these two commands, I want to add a separator. Let's assume you can click on the new and then button separator. We will see how it will look like. Okay, this is button separator. I want to add only one separator. That will be enough for us. And in the text, if you want to set something, you can set it as separator. Done. Save. Okay. Now we have two command buttons and then a button separator. Good. Now I have one more command button group. In this group, if you want to add new commands, you can add any number of commands you want. Okay. Currently, we are looking at command buttons. Later on, we will see the other things. Okay. I will add only one button here, and I will use some called copy. Okay, there should be a command called copy, clear, cancel, call stack. Okay, call stack or something, whatever you want you can add here. This is one more command button. Done. Now these are the commands. By default, whatever the available commands, we have added them. So in this action pane tab, I want to create a new button group. Now we know how to create the button groups in separator. Now we will see something else. Okay, I will call this as button group 3. And if you want to set some good caption, you can say button group 3. Okay, here as well. In this, I think I have not set the button groups, so I can set commands 1, and this has commands 2. Save. Okay, now this is my button group 3, and in this button group I want to click on the new button, and then I want to add a button. This is a simple button. Okay, when you click on this, you need to write a piece of code if you want to perform some action. Okay, button, and for each and every button there will be a method called clicked. What is the method name? The method name is clicked. When button is clicked, what should happen? You need to write that piece of code in this one. Okay, and below this super I will say info, and then in the bracket you need to say button clicked. And now let's say here you have the filter, you want to use this, then what you need to do? After setting the value, you can select this button. If you want to do that, you can do that. Oh, you don't want to do like this, you want to add a button over there as well, then you need to select the custom pattern over there. And what you need to do, you need to add a filter, and beside that filter you can add the button. That is also possible. Okay, you can do whatever you want, that is also possible. Now what will happen? Only when this button is clicked, then only execute query will be run, otherwise it will not run execute query. Okay, this is one more way you can do. And frankly speaking, lot of times we will do in this fashion. They will apply the value, and then they will click the button, and then it will get applied. Now here I want to apply, create one more button group. I want to call this as menu button group, and in this menu button group I will set a caption menu button, and here I will click on the new button, and then I will add a menu button. Okay, I will add a menu button. Now for this menu button we can add menu items. Okay, so how this menu button will be there? You will see file menu. If you click on the file, again you will get lot of things down. If you want to get like that, then we will use menu button. Okay, then we will use menu button. Okay, and here you can see what I can add. I can add a menu item button, I can add a normal button, I can add a button separator. Now I want to add some menu items here. I will add menu items. Okay, I will add 2 menu items, that will be enough. Okay, and in between I want to add a separator. Okay, and in the separator I will say text separator, and this is my menu item button 1. And remember, we call that as menu function button here. Okay, we call that as menu function button. Okay, and this I will call this as address, and there will be a property called menu item name. Here you can set AMA, and you can set whatever you want. Address. Okay, and then I have the second button. I will call this as menu function button 2, and text I will set it as customers, and then I will set a property AMA, and then you can select customers. Done. Say okay. This is how we will use menu function buttons. menu button, and inside the menu I can use menu functions. And similarly, if you want to use them directly, you can directly create here. I created in a menu. If you want to add a menu item button directly, you can add menu item button directly. Okay. There is one last thing called drop dialog. We will see the drop dialog within a minute. Okay. I will add the drop dialog to this one. Okay. Because before creating a drop dialog, we need to create a screen. Because some cases, in a few of the cases, let's say now I have an inventory table. An inventory table of how many fields do I have? Okay, we will be having less number of fields. So if you have less number of fields in that fashion, and if you want to store the data directly, then we will use a drop dialog button. Okay, let me show you. Let me go to user interface and let me create a form. I will call this as AMA drop dialog. Click on the add button. And now this is my drop dialog. Let me apply the pattern here. Right click, click on the apply pattern, and check. I have a drop dialog. Done. This is my drop dialog. And in this drop dialog, you need to create a group for drop dialog content, and you need to create a button group. Now right click, click on the new button, and you have a group control. And in this group control, it is expecting a pattern. Right click, click on the apply pattern. I am applying fields and field groups. Okay. Now the next one is dialog commit. Create a new button group, new, and you need to select a button group. And in this button group, it is expecting OK button, a new button, and this will be your OK button. Okay, this will be OK button. And you have a text here. You can call it as OK, done. Okay. Now here in the methods modified, click on the override, and you can use click method. And if you have a small amount of data, you can directly insert into the table. Okay. Now, if you want to add fields, you can add into this one. So how many fields are there in the inventory table? Open. I have quantity, total quantity, item ID, unit price, remaining quantity. Okay. So now what I will do is I will add, or let me do one thing. I want to do some simple thing. Let me add it as a data source. Fields, item ID, quantity, remaining quantity, total quantity, unit price. Okay. Done. You can get it to this one. Okay. Done. Now, but if you add this, what will happen? By default, it will show data in this. So let me remove this. Okay, these are not gone. Now let me go to properties, and I want to make them unbounded controls. So I will remove this inventory. I will remove this data feed. And what I will do, I will simply call this as item ID. To make things simpler and easier, I used to do this. Okay. Because if I need to create each field now, it will take a lot of time. Instead of that, you can get the data source, you can remove all this. And remember, only if you have some 4 or 5 fields, you have very less amount of data, then only you need to use drop dialog for insertion. In all the other cases, what you need to do? You need to use simple list if you have more number of fields. And if you have a lot of fields, then you need to go with details master, okay? With multiple tables. Now I have got this, and in this clicked method, what I can do? I need to set auto declaration to yes for all these fields. And you can also do that by using selecting multiple fields, because there will be few properties which are applied to all the fields. You can do that as well. Okay. And now let me go to this clicked method, and in this you can use AMA inventory, and then you can say inventory, and here you can use or let me do one more thing. If you have defined your unique indexes now, you can directly use inventory dot item ID equal to item ID dot value str, and then inventory dot quantity equal to quantity dot value inventory dot remaining quantity equal to remaining quantity dot value inventory dot total quantity equal to total quantity dot value. And similarly, what else do we have? Unit price. Inventory dot unit price equal to unit price dot value. It should throw error. No. Oh, throw it. Good. Okay. I'm using any to real, or you can also use str to num. You can do in a number of ways. Okay. I'm using any to real here. You can use str to num. That is also possible. And then you can say inventory dot validate right, and then inventory dot right. Okay, you can also add transaction tracking system. Okay, now we are done with the drop dialog. Now how to attach this drop dialog to the menu? That's very simple again. Okay, in this action tab and tab 3, in this tab I will create a new button group, and then I will go to properties. I will call this as uh, drop dialog button, and I will set this to drop dialog, and here you can simply add a new drop dialog button. So for this drop dialog button, what it is expecting, please check. It is expecting parameters, open mode, menu item name. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to create one more menu item, new item, and then select display menu item. Let's call it as AMA drop dialog, and go to properties, call it as drop dialog, and then you can give the object type as AMA drop dialog. Okay, save, done. Now what I need to do, I need to go to the address for this drop dialog control. I need to set the menu item as AMA drop dialog. Done, save. Okay, and then you can set some good text here. You can say drop dialog so that it would be visible directly for you. Save. Okay, now once you are done with all these things, simply go to Solution Explorer, rebuild. And in the meantime, let me open Power BI. Let's see how to create a simple report in Power BI, because we'll be working with workspaces, so we can also show this. Okay, you will have the Power BI desktop. I showed you how to install already. Please finish it off, and then you would be able to access this. Okay, good. Build got completed in the meantime. Now let me go to front end and let me open the URL. Just a second. USN, come on, and enter. Let it open. Now see here, Power BI will be very interesting here, and it's very simple. Okay, because most of the times what people used to think is, oh, Power BI, it's again we need to create a reports and there will be a lot of things in Power BI. No, it's not like that. It's very easier. Okay, so now here you can see, first of all, in this, click on the sign in button. Click on the sign in button and sign into your Power BI. skd365 at the rate skd3651 dot on microsoft.com. This is my account. Okay, click on the sign in button. If you want to publish your reports to the Power BI portal, then you need to sign in. Otherwise, it is not needed. Okay. Now it will ask you for the password. Type your password. Click on sign in. Code. Oh, good. I got it. I forgot here where exactly I kept that SIM. Yeah, I got it. I think I might have used another mobile. Just a second. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's do one thing. Unfortunately, that is switched off. I need to charge that. It will take time. Okay. Let's say this Power BI again back. Okay. Because I need to enter this code. I don't have this code now. So whatever we need to do is, once you are logged on to the Power BI, then we can create the report. So let us discuss this later on. Okay. I will show you. Because I want to show you how to connect to the portal. I need to add my SIM. Let me check if it is. If it opens, it is fine. Otherwise, I will show you that again later. Okay. Because it's switched off. Let me check. Okay, it will take more time here because it's completely down. Okay, that particular mobile is completely down, so it will take more time. So let's do one thing. I will log on to the Power BI and I will show you how to publish them on tomorrow or Monday. And you know, whenever the customers are asking for the report, the first thing you need to remember is show them Power BI. Okay, because SSRS reports are, I can say, they will be graphical, whereas coming to the Power BI reports, the look will be very good. Okay, and 90% of the customers are moving to Power BI reports only because those are live reports. You can show live data, whereas SSRS, it's a static information. Whatever the information you have in the database, you can only show that. If again customer wants to get the new report, now he need to again reload it. Whereas coming to the Power BI, it's live data. You have a live data refresh offer, and in that you can refresh every. You will have multiple options. You will have an option called as fast as permissible. Okay, but if you use as fast as permissible, you will load your database. The data will be, you will see data refresh at very faster rate. Okay, just a second. I want to show you this action pane, but it's still loading. I don't know what is the exact reason, but sometimes it will take a lot of time, sometimes it will take less time. And how is your practice? Is it going like a rocket, or is it going like a bicycle, or is it going like a bike? How is your practice?
It's going like bike. 150 cc.
Okay. 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 All right. Then let's do one thing. You can take break for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So this week I will stop taking session on Saturday and Sunday. That means on Saturday, and you can practice well. Okay. I hope that would be the best thing instead of going with a lot of things. Because within coming 2 or 3 days we will finish off forms. 2 days I can say, because the topics that are left are with mainly workspaces, and later on we will move on to form extensions.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about others? I got only one reply from Kamal. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people here.
Yes, Kumar, I am also practicing. Yeah, but I'm lagging behind.
Why?
I mean, I am still into those classes and methods. I am clearing my doubts. And yes,
Oh.
forms. I'm just looking into few forms and getting standard form.
Yeah, I'm also a week behind.
Okay. Okay, you can take this 2 days time and then you can practice. That's what I thought. Let me close this here. I don't know why it is taking a lot of time. Just a second. Something should be stuck with this Internet Explorer, I think. Okay. Now it's Internet Explorer. Click on the end task. Good. It got closed. And just one more thing. Microsoft, I think, in the very near future, you are not going to use Azure machines, okay? Because what Microsoft is doing is, in Dynamics 365, the customer version as well, you will get VM itself, similar to this one. But you will have the customer URL instead of this USNC, okay? Very soon, you will see that. Because most of the times, what customers are saying is, when they go for Azure machines, the cost is very heavy, okay? Monthly they need to pay, it depends on again machine to machine. If they go with the Xeon processor and octa-core with 16 GB of RAM, they are paying nearly 30,000 or 35,000 only for one machine, which is highly costly. And if you spend around 50,000 or 60,000 rupees, you will get one machine here. In that machine you can run like anything, because you will get with 32 GB of RAM. So what customers are preferring is, they are preferring their own machines for development. They want to get their own machines and then they want to start development on them. So based on this request from a lot of customers, Microsoft has changed the way. Instead of going with Azure machines for development, they are providing the VM. And that VM will contain again each and everything related to your customer. And you can use that VM on your local machine. And I can say few of the customers are using this VM for development. Because what they will do is, they will install this VM on their machines and they will start development. Because for development, you can do it anywhere. Whereas while deploying, they will go for the production and they will get the customer URL. because to avoid the cost, please remember, even when you go to the customer, don't say them to take the Azure machines, okay? Because the cost is very high. Instead of that, what you can suggest is we can develop if you want in these machines, but actually we need to purchase 1 or 2 machines. Instead of paying every month to Azure, if you just spend the amount of 2 months, then you will get this machine. This is what you need to guide. This is how you need to guide the customer. Okay. Remember, the customer will be satisfied in only one way. Okay. You need to reduce cost of him. Okay. You need to reduce cost of him, because where you can reduce the cost, you should not reduce the cost to your working company, because to your working company, if you reduce the cost, again your manager will fight with you. Instead of that, you need to reduce the cost of cloud. Whatever he is going to maintain in the cloud, whatever he will be utilizing in the cloud, for those items you need to reduce the cost. Okay, because few of the times I will tell you, the customer will ask for security. You know what few of the people have done? They have went for APIM. It's very costly, yeah, because APIM is again a service provided by Azure. We call it as application interface application management interface. And frankly speaking, the cost is like anything. They will be charging nearly $200 per month only for security. That is a token based security. And each and every time you generate a token, you can set a set amount of time. Let's say if you set 5 minutes, after 5 minutes the token will get expired. Okay, so if you want to go with that APIM, you can go ahead. That is possible. Okay, but remember, you need to let them know where the cost is heavy in the cloud and you need to reduce that. Then the customer will be happy. Otherwise, if you just create a logic app and then if you going on hitting it, the cost will increase like anything, because they will say 1 million requests are free, but that 1 million requests are nothing in Azure. Okay, because it will reach 1 million within no time, depending upon your customer transactions. Why it is taking a lot of time? Okay, let's do one thing here. Already we are out of time. So I will show you this action pen. Whatever the buttons we have created, you can try creating them and practice them tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I will show you how to work with them on Monday. Okay? Because it's taking a lot of time to load. I don't know what is the exact reason for this. I need to also check back, look back once. Oh, I think it has loaded. Just a second. Yeah, good. It has loaded. Okay. Now let me go to that. No, have I loaded this table of contents? I should have loaded address. Sorry. This one I should have loaded. Just a second. Okay, now you can see the address and action pin tab 1. If I click on this, you got the commands, and if you want to pin, you can pin it. Okay, I have the new button. It will create a new record for us. You can see here. I have a delete button. It will delete a record for us. Okay, it will delete a selected record for us. Oh, as there is no data, let me select other one and check. Oh, this command there, I think something problem with this command here. Oh, it has deleted, but we haven't seen. Okay, it took some time. It took some time and then deleted the selected record. Now again, in the commands too, between command 1 and command 2, I have added the separator. Here we have forgot to add the caption. I don't know what happens if I click this. Let's see. What is this button here? We have done something with that button. Okay, we have not added the caption correctly, which is why I'm not getting anything, but button is clickable. Okay, and then we have the action pane tab 2. Oh, here as well we forgot to add captions. Button clicked. Okay, if you apply the city, let me say Chennai now, CHENNAI, and let me click this button. We forgot to add the caption. You need to add that Chennai. You got the data that belongs to Chennai.
I think,
And similarly,
okay,
let me
we have
select
added,
Hyderabad. Sorry.
yeah, we have added okay somewhere. Action pin
Yeah,
tab 3. Yeah.
yeah. Because if we miss the captions, now this is how it will not display anything for us. Okay, you will get the data of Hyderabad. Oh, but you got Chennai and Hyderabad. Can anyone tell me why I got Chennai and Hyderabad? I want you to check this. There is one specific reason for happening this. Okay. Now this is the menu button. In this I have address screen, customer screen. In between separator. Remember, for separators we will not add text. If you add text, this is what will happen. Okay. If you don't add text, you will get a line in between. You will get a line in between. Okay. And few of the times what people used to ask is, no, I don't want the line. Instead of that, I want the text. Okay. Because in the above, they want to say setup. In the below, they want to say common. They want to say something like that. At that point, we will add the text. In all the other cases, we will apply just separator and we will not add any text. If we don't add any text, we will get a line like this, a horizontal line. Okay. Now, let me click on customers. It will navigate us to customers page. Got it? And if you close this, it will go back to this one. Okay, done. Now the next one is action pane tab 3. Here we have the drop dialog button. If I select this, it should load one more screen. Oh, unfortunately, here as well we forgot to add the captions. Okay, this is item ID. I will say IT 1001, and this is quantity. I will set some 12, and this is I will set some 10, and the amount I will set some 1500. Remaining quantity I will set 12. Okay, there are no validations, so it will take. Click on the OK button. It will, if everything goes fine, it will insert data into inventory table. Okay. Once you click on the OK button, if everything goes fine, it should insert data into inventory table. Let's see that. Okay, remember there is one specific reason for happening. Okay, like this. Okay, I want you to identify that. I told you already why this kind of things will happen. I want you to identify that. While speaking forms itself, I showed you why that will happen. Okay.
Insert at end.
No. That's not insert if empty and insert. That's not. Okay. I want you to identify that. Yeah. It's very simple. I want you to check this. There is one specific reason for that to happen. Okay. Now let me check. Select star from AMA inventory and run. You will get the record. Okay. So this is how we will use. If we have a few fields, I can say very few fields, then we will use this one. Okay. And please remember, I forgot to set the text. If I go to drop dialog, I forgot to set this information. For all this, I forgot to set labels. Okay. You need to set labels here. If you set labels, you will get labels. Otherwise, you will not get it. So please update them. Okay. And few places I forgot to add captions. Item ID, quantity, remaining quantity, you need to update these labels. Similarly, you need to update in the address table. Okay, because we have added the buttons, but in that buttons, we did not add. Few places I have added text, few places I did not add labels. Seems like that. Okay, please do that here. If you do that now, you will get it. You can see text is empty. Here you need to set button, or you can simply say click me. Okay, you need to set the text or caption. Otherwise, the text will not get displayed. Okay, so please try this out and let me know if you have any queries. Let's meet again on Monday. I want you to practice these 2 days and let me know if you have any queries. Okay, if there are no queries, I will end session for everyone, and I want you to try this. I want you to check this. Okay, because if I am not adding anything, and then where is that button in this one? Huh? What did it do? Button clicked and nothing happened. There is one specific reason for that to happen. It should show all the records, but it is not showing. I want you to try that. Okay, because it's very simple. Okay, I told you that in one of the session I showed you. Okay, I told you the methods. I think I have not showed you. I told you the methods. Okay, done. Any other queries?
No, Kumar. Thank you.
Okay, thanks all for the session. Let's meet again on Monday, same time. Thank you all. Bye.